Hey, good morning, Adrienne. This is a quick demo video for you for your custom flagship by Carl Danby over at Valhalla. This is a Saber of the Moon, so it's a 101, which is I think what about all of the Sabers he does, he only does one. So this thing is just beautiful. I don't know if you had a chance to read my post. I don't get nervous working on a whole lot of Sabers, but I've been watching Carl and his work ever since I've been in the community, and you know, I've been trying to etch myself. I do a little bit of etching, but this guy is just phenomenal and has been an inspiration for me. So I had to bring my A game on this, and I hope it came out the way you like. So let's go over it a little bit. This is a 2-button setup. So your main button right here, that's going to be your activation. That's plain to see. But then when you swap it over here, I put just a small brass tactile switch here. Almost the same, I'm trying to catch it in the camera, almost the same height as this red leather that's wrapping around it, but it is easy to push. I just didn't want it sticking out too much. I didn't want it taken away from any of the aesthetics of the Saber, but I also wanted you to have a 2-button setup. So that's what we did there. You do have Shtok NPXLs in here, and if we open this up, it's like this. You've got a CFX board right here. So CFX board, easy access to your SD card. You don't have to lift the board up. 28mm bass speaker. I did put Valhalla on this chassis. And then I put solo Sabers over here in Arabish. I did make a resin chassis for this guy because it was just so beautiful. I wanted to go just one step above PLA. So hopefully you like it. It's a nice tight fit. This chassis is not adhesed or anything to the Saber. I made it to where it's about a press fit in. So it's a nice tight press fit in. It's not going anywhere on you, but if by some chance it ever needs to come out in the future, it will pull out with enough force. So let's throw a battery in it. Removable battery system, your spring side right here, that's gonna be a negative side of your battery. I will be sending a battery with this guy. Just make sure that you don't put that battery in backwards.
This means everything cannot fail.
And we'll throw the pommel on, or the handle on. Just like that. The leather wrap does line up perfectly when you tighten down the handle. And then we'll turn it on. Auxiliary, if we tap it, we get blaster deflex. Hold it down for blade lockup. Well, we're going to turn it off and put a blade in it. I've got a test blade right here. This does take a 1-inch diameter blade. So we're going to toss this in this guy real quick. Tighten down your blade retention. So you got 2 set screws basically right here, right? You've got your bottom one. This is holding your pixels or your pixel holder. So you don't want to mess with that guy. And then this one right here is your blade retention. Wake the board up. Activation. Flash on flash. And like I said, you can tap the auxiliary for blaster deflex. If I had a full-length blade, you'd see it randomly along the blade. Or if we hold down the auxiliary, you get blade lockup. Now while we've got this Saber on and you want to change color, what you want to do is hold down your auxiliary and twist your wrist.
Spectrum.
You'll hear spectrum. Now you can twist the hilt like this, and every time you hear a click, it's a different color. So let's say you wanted to go with, I don't know, let's pick green. When you find one you like, just tap a button, just like that. So now when you turn it off and back on, as long as the battery is in, it'll go back to green. If you take the battery out, what you're basically doing is doing a hard reset on the board, and the sound font that you have will revert back to whatever color it's programmed to start with. So you do have a lot of blade profiles or blade effects on this guy. So to get to those, hold down your aux and twist your wrist like we did for color, but then keep the button held down.
Spectrum.
Keep holding it.
Blade profiles.
Now again, you can twist your hilt. And every time you click it, it's a different effect. We'll cycle through a few of these. Some of them don't pick up on camera so well, but then other ones do. Oh, here's a cool one. So when you find one you like, just tap a button. Kind of a rainbow strobe blade, right? So we'll turn that off and back on, and we've still got that. Sounds good. And we'll turn it off. Now to get to your sound fonts or change your sound fonts when the blade is off, you just want to hold down the auxiliary button until you hear this.
Sound bank selection.
Now you can use the auxiliary or the power button to cycle up or down your menu.
Exit menu.
That is the Brittany font. That's for you at home. But when we go back and we pick one and we find one we like, we'll just hold a button down.
The general, to me, she's royalty.
Some sound fonts that you buy will have soundtracks on them. So to get the sound font to play, we just double tap the activation button real quick. And then you can turn the Saber on. You can do anything you want to do while the sound is playing, right? We'll turn it back off. And then to get the soundtrack to turn off, just double click again, just like that. So that's everything on your Saber. I hope that it came out the way you like. I'll get this loaded and sent to you, and then I'll have the actual Saber out in the mail today. Thanks.